Welcome back. You're tuned into Bazaar Morning Call. Hope you're having a good morning. Well, as promised, let's get straight to an exclusive conversation. We have Sheela Farm, who's in focus, that company's in focus, as they bought 95% stake in Kurlon at an equity valuation of around 2,150 crore rupees. The company has also invested 300 crores for 35% stake in Furlenco. Mr. Rahul Gautam, the CMD at Sheela Farm, joins us on the show. Hi, Mr. Gautam. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, we had quizzed you about this earlier, and indications were that this was in the works. So congratulations on this big acquisition. I had a two-part question for you. One is, how do you fund it? The total outgo will be roughly around 2,300 crores. So break up the funding, and of the acquired entity, could you tell us what is the margin profile?
So the total requirement of both the companies would be about, you're right, about 2,350. About 850 we have on our balance sheet. Cash is available. Balance, we are still to figure out that how much debt and how much equity we would do, but we'll probably need to do both. The balance sheet is reasonably unleveraged, and therefore there should not be any difficulty on getting debt. But we would definitely want that the balance sheet is, the ratings remain intact, So those numbers are still to be worked out.
And the margin profile of the acquired entity?
So margin profile, currently, Kurlon is not doing very well. It's down to about 4.5–5%. But, just as we step back 2 years, its normal levels were about 1,000 crore top line and about 13–14% as the EBITDA. It will get very soon back to those levels.
Okay. Mr. Gautam, good morning and congratulations on the acquisition. Just a couple of more follow-up questions. You said that the balance will be funded through debt and equity, so I'm assuming the entire 1,500 crores would be funded through debt and equity. In terms of debt, how much are you comfortable taking on board, say by the end of FY24, FY25? What would be the maximum debt and debt to equity ratio that you would be looking at?
This time that we would not take debt more than what would spoil our balance sheet or our capabilities, depending on the ratings, etc. So we would, I have no numbers right now to share, but we'll work that out.
Okay. So just one more question. Once this entire, transaction goes through, what would the combined market share be of both the companies?
So listen, it depends on how you define the market. So if you just look at the mattress market, about 60–65% still sleeps on some kind of traditional mattresses, and the modern mattress market is only 35%. And of that, there is the organized sector and the unorganized sector. So if you just look at the organized part, maybe the total up may come to close to about 40%. But if you look at the entire traditional market, because there's a lot of movement between the organized and the unorganized, we would be about 20–21%, both put together.
Mr. Gautam, hi, good morning. Prashant here. Congratulations once again. Just
you.
A quick point. You said that normalized top line was 1,000 crores and margins used to be 13–14%, and you'll get there quickly. Now, Kurl-On, the brand is very strong. We all know of it, although I've not been in the market for a mattress for a long time, but it's a well-known household brand. But what is the reason why numbers deteriorated sharply at Kurl-On, and why do you think you'll be able to? What were the causes for that, and why do you think you'll be able to go back to the prior normalized levels quickly?
I think they intended to do a few transformational changes, and straight away ran into COVID. So those changes couldn't come about, and the COVID played truant with it, And that's the reason that those things can be very quickly changed back to what their normative or normal levels of operations were.
Okay. So in F5, could you give us some sense by when what were FY23 numbers, for example, on the top line? If you can share that with us, by when what would your targets be? Some broad idea in the ballpark.
So I think the FY23 numbers, we don't have the numbers or the audited numbers as yet, but they will be far better than the FY22, which is already on record. And I would say that the 1,000 that we are talking about, we should be able to be on a run rate basis from January, February onwards of 24. Yeah. So really, the full advantage, you should be looking at FY25.
All right. Are there any synergy benefits, Mr. Gautam, from this particular transaction? If you could quantify it, point number one, and also both the brands will exist?
Yes. Well, somebody from the panel just now said that Kurl-On is an extremely strong brand, and it's been there. In fact, it's been a little longer than us. So the synergy benefits are there. Number one is that on the back-end side, we would have some consolidation, some values or of raw material that we would be purchasing. The volumes will probably get us some benefits. There are synergies existing on that. We understand foam and foam manufacturing. They understand the coir part of it extremely well. And
right. Mr. Gautam, you want to quantify it? I mean, in terms of a synergy benefit, you would have done some back of an envelope calculation, right?
So I would say that in a couple of months, we should be adding at least 300 basis points.
Okay, 300 basis points would be what? On the top line or on the margins?
No, on the margins.
On the margins.
What I had talked to you was only the back end or the cost side of it. On the front side, of course, also we are completely differently wired in the sense they're very strong on the south and east. We're strong on the north and west. And the way that they sell the product is more through MBOs. We do that through EBOs, etc. So I think when we start plugging the gaps and looking at it, there would be increases on the top line.
Okay, I'm sure you're still working the numbers out, so that would take some time. Just wanted to talk a little more about the Furlenco stake buy as well. Are you looking to raise your stake further over there? Is the company profitable at the moment? And what kind of growth rate are you expecting from Furlenco?
So currently, the stake that we would have after this infusion would be 35%. There is already a private equity, which is about 26%. The promoter group is about 12%, and the balance is all divided into some 60 or 70 smaller investors who are there. We are, of course, open to increasing this equity, but I think we will spend some time and take a call a year down the line. On the profitability, it is already operationally, EBITDA is positive. As soon as the financial side is taken care of, we should be profitable by October this year.
Okay, Furlenco will be profitable by October this year. All right, thanks a lot, Mr. Gautam, for joining in. And once again, congratulations, a very big acquisition that you've made, and I'm sure it will be synergistic for you and your business. Congratulations on that. That's Sheela Foam talking about the acquisition that they've made and how they're going to fund it. The total requirement will be about 2,400 crores, out of which 850 crores will be funded through cash, and the rest they're looking at raising either debt or equity. Amisha